No, but listen to, did you hear the press conference of Gregory Coleman, the IG? He did say that this is a highly political case, did he not? So you don't take the partisans' word for it, you take the IG's word for it.
We elect a fact irresponsible man what happened to our country. We elect a fact irresponsible man to govern this country, not to be very irresponsible.
Please place your left hand on the Bible being held by your wife, and you will kindly raise your right hand, sir, and repeat after me. All standing, please. I, Joseph Newman Boyka Sr.,
No secret now that your friend and former boss will be a candidate in 2029. With all of that you experience, all of that you know, and everything that you see unfolding in the country now, will you support him? Will you be part of the process? Will you give him the support? Do you think he can be a better president?
So why you want to bring political Benin in it or not?
Oh, but political you're political man, before you go out, very active.
I plead the fifth again.
Okay. When 2029 come and pass, then you finally leave. Mission is completed. Now, what the rules of engagement? When the war ended, the guy said, the captain, the commander said, mission complete. There Wune Alfreds, all men on board.
So, this riot situation when it comes across, because many times you notice that.
If Charles Taylor is the problem, he will be out of here in the twinkle of an eye. And I say, let well-meaning Liberians come home. If we respect this constitution, a government formed in Accra is a violation of Article 1 of the Constitution. Let them come home. Let that government be formed in Monrovia.
On the Boyka's administration, we want to give the government of Liberia an ultimatum of 72 hours to provide a living body of the chairman of the Student Unification Party, or else there will be a catastrophic pneumonia in the Republic of Liberia. To arrest the chairman of the Student Unification Party, only because the government feel intimidated about the Vanguard Party advocacies.
The government got capital road, small, road, B road, all kinds of place. I think the reason Joseph Boyka will not do much because the old man, the papa is suffering. The papa loves the country, but he can't make it. The criminal there around him, they sophisticated than him. They are sophisticated criminals, so they can't make it.
So folks, welcome to our listeners, our viewers. Welcome. This is a very pleasant way to welcome you to the Closing Argument Show. Today happened to be the 13th day of the month of November 2025. So we are moving gradually. We have roughly about 1 month, few days from now to 2026. We cross over to the year of 2026. So if you are alive today, you have to be grateful to the Almighty God to see this day. Others were wishing to be alive, but unfortunately, they are not alive. So being alive today is not by your own will, it's by the Almighty God. And also, it is a privilege and opportunity to be alive. So you don't have your own way, you don't have control over your life. So if you're alive today, you got to appreciate God, because other people were just crossing the road and out of a sudden they were hit before they could rush to the hospital. They were dead and gone. So seeing yourself today alive, seeing yourself doing so many things, you are not better than those, but it is by the grace of God. So welcome. This is Another way of welcoming you to the Closing Argument Show. So at times we give the public the opportunity, to give the public the space to be able to express themselves, to be able to give their own view on some issues as it relates to so many trending national issues, as it relates to international, local, and other issue here. So Mr. Gimme is facing some technical issue, as you may be aware. From yesterday, he been facing some technical issue, even up to today. He also facing some technical issue. So probably he might not be on. So if you are just joining, I appreciate if you keep sharing the show. We have roughly about 15 minutes up to 10 o'clock. So I think by 10 o'clock, some of our folks there from the diaspora, they will be coming on because their time changed. So maybe at 10 o'clock, some of them will be coming on. So welcome, invite others. We are also relay on Kia Radio in Central Monrovia, right around the BTC barrier. We are also relay there. So invite others to share the show, invite others to come on. Let's discuss some trending national issues as it relates to the day-to-day activity in our country, where so many trending national issues here. But today we are not going to talk too much, but rather just bring out the discussion and then leave it with the Liberian people, leave it with the public to be able to give their own view. We are not going to be sentimental here. Here to the point. Let the Liberian people give their view. Let the Liberian people say it. Or we are not going to talk too much today, because as it relates to this issue we are going to discuss, we are not going to talk too much, but rather just give the discussion and then leave it with the public so that the public can make their own view, so that the public can be able to express themselves on these issues, because they are the one who it happens to them in their day-to-day life. They are the one who are affected, or they are the one who benefits from it, whether good or bad. The Liberian people are the ones who take the blame. They are the one who enjoy everything, or they are the one who suffer. So everything is on them. So basically, let's see whether we can drill you some headlines here. So we also saw on yesterday. This is not our topic for tonight, but just want to give the public this issue. On yesterday, we saw the ECOWAS Commission reaffirm their commitment to Liberia, most especially as it relates to whatever activities they have been carrying on within the country. They reaffirm their commitment to Liberia and promise to do more. Where we saw on yesterday, the President of the Republic of Liberia met with some commissioners from the ECOWAS, and then they had a successful discussion. And we also saw Bomi County on today. We also saw Bomi County Senator Honorable Edwin Mervyn Snow of Bomi County appeal for the reconstruction, or people will say to reestablish of the civil society, wherein the civil servant or the civil servant's salary will be pre-harmonized, in a sense where Liberians and others who are civil servant worker can be able to get their pay how they want it, and then he called on the CSA boss so that they can be able to handle that issue. So we also saw on today where myself I was on the scene this morning, where Liberians were all concerned what exactly happening. And today news is sparked our attention where people from all part of the world, people from all part of the country, most especially Liberians who based in other countries, were concerned about what exactly happening in our country. We are waking up this morning seeing a huge presence of police. We're also seeing a huge presence of citizens gather. Just one area looking at a certain thing. So Liberians were concerned today, even though other people saw it to be chaotic, while others see it to be a religious issue. But we are not going to be too sentimental yet. We are not going to be too religious or political. No, it's the Liberian people who are going to decide. That's why I said we are just going to discuss the issue and then open the line so that Liberian people can make their own view as it relates to this issue. And we'll also play some of the videos from that end where you will hear for yourself some of the play-by-play action that occurred there from the real life area. But let me welcome Mr. Professor Peewee, the new progressive. He's there. So, Mr. Peewee, welcome.
Thank you, Mayan. It's good to be back this evening, tonight.
I don't know why, but if you there, wow. Mr. Peewee, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Kind of sounding low, you know.
Can you hear me?
I think you have to work on it from the end.
I don't know how. Am I?
So you can just go and come back in studio because I'm not hearing you though. Are you hearing me? Okay, I think he's off. So we also saw a huge crowd in the radio area where Liberians were all concerned, and then we started to receive calls back and forth, and people saw it to be a religious fight, but which of course it was not. It was just a simple stuff that went on today that you could just probably turn over without any noise, without any fight like what went on today. But because of some other reason or because of some other policy issue, that's why it went to that extent. But Mr. Peewee, are you hearing me? Are you there? I think you have to work on something there from your end because I'm not hearing you. Mr. Peewee, you have to work on something from there. I'm not hearing you. Yeah, so like I was saying, I think you have to work on something, then you just come on back. So, Mr. Peewee, are you there? You have to work on your microphone because I'm not hearing. If you hear me, just give me a thumbs up. Okay. So on this discussion, let's see whether Mr. Peewee can settle his line there. Then we can bring him on. Yeah. So for this issue, Liberians were all concerned what exactly happened in real life, where these issues happen because we see real life to be one of the most crowded area, wherein people come from all part of Mosrado and other surrounding area to be able to do their normal activities, to be able to buy. People come from other counties, come to Red Light, buy things and carry. But today, we saw the entire place was crowded up, and then people came from all over watching to see what exactly was going on. And then it was kind of a bad image for our country in the sense like if the media is carrying a report on Liberia where you are seeing people to be making such a statement saying it is like a Muslim and Christian. That's wrong. Let put it in the sense like this. That's wrong. It was not between a Muslim and that of a Christian. If you saying this like this, what will you say about the CDC party headquarters that was invaded? If you saying it like this, what will you say about some permanent citizens that property was done the same way? But coming to Muslim or coming to a Fula man or a Mandingo man, then you saying it's like a religious fight. That's wrong. Liberians should not have that way of thinking, or people out there should not have that way of thinking. It should not always be about Muslim and Christian. Where the truth belongs, let's put it there. If you say this property is belong to a Fula man or this property is belong to a Mandingo man, that property is his. Let the Lord turn it over to him. But if that property is belong to a Liberian man, and then one way or the other, that Mandingo man or that Fula man you are claiming that he's a Christian or whatever, he's a Liberian. So if you come in to claim that yes, they want to fight the other tribe, they want to fight this other religion, that's something that we all as Liberians, we all as Africans should not be able to have that way of thinking, that mindset, because it helps and also destroy our country. In other countries, you will find that there's no churches, there's no worshiping center there, just because of these same things. Liberians, when I interviewed some Liberians today, they were all angry. It's not all about the religious background, it's not all about where you come from. But the issue is when something happens, you have to take it the legal way. And what I heard today, and I did my own background investigation, this property is belonging to a Muslim man who claimed that he's the owner of this property. And then when it went to the court, another partner won the case. So after he won the case, and then the court turned over the property to him. But in the process, he came peacefully and said that, oh, I gave you a time to turn over my property. And what shocked me today was there's nothing within the store. There's no goods, nothing at the camp, but rather they are just living there. And those who are living there are all people who you will not say they have their wife and children living there. No, they're just living there because maybe probably they want to find means, or they want to do something that will be somehow chaotic for other citizens or other residents that are around that area. We are not preaching tribal politics, or we are not preaching a religious issue in this area. We have to be frank to the issue. If you say the law is the law, let the law be the law. Let the law go across everyone. You should not say, yeah, this person, like others are saying today on the media, that they need justice, even though the imam, one of the imam were brutally beaten. Myself, I interviewed him. He couldn't talk. Even he requested for water. To get water was very hard for him today. I felt for him. I was on the scene. I had the opportunity to enter the mosque, to enter the building, to do a live coverage where thousands of people were watching. And at a certain point in time, I told some of the police officers, I told some of the sheriff, I told them, I said, you guys are on record for this. If you are doing such a thing like this, you have to be professional. If you hold someone, turn the person over so that they can be able to carry the person to either the police station or somewhere else, but not to beat on them. And in a sense, like you beating on them and then blood coming out of them, beating on them, leaving mark on them. That was, of course, wrong. We all as Liberians, we have to be law-abiding. If you saying that the guys who were on the property were throwing petrol bombs, which of course it was true. They did a lot of things there today, even wounded one of the sheriff petrol bombs, and then it was so painful today. But if you doing such a thing, we all saw their action, we all saw what went on today. But if you beating on them to an extent where you giving the veteran to the public so that they can be able to beat on them, I think it was very, very wrong for our country. It was very sad. If you arrest the people, protect them in a way that you'll be able to carry them to that vehicle, or to be able to carry them to a place where it'll be safe for them and turn them over. But not to say, yes, these people were throwing petrol bombs, these people were harming us, and then if you caught them, you want to do something that will be bad and mercifully. That which, of course, is show a bad image for our country. Even though the Liberia National Police, they did extremely well today, without the Liberia National Police, there will be some kind of a scene where that whole entire building was to be burned down today. And also, we applaud the Liberia Fire Service. They were on time. This morning, when we received the information, we arrived on the scene. The Liberia Fire Service were there, and they had a tough time, because at certain point in time, the Liberia Fire Service and the Liberia National Police vehicle were parked at that same place, and then the guys from they threw petrol bombs right before that vehicle, and then everyone was like shouting fire, 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 and that was something. It was very chaotic. That group of human beings that were there, looking at that number that were there, throwing petrol bombs between them, where you saw vehicles are all parked there. They have gasoline in them. And today, when they arrested some of them, when we enter in, we saw they were also using gasoline, putting the gas inside it, putting sand, throwing stones at the police, throwing stones at citizens. So, which of course it was very, very wrong on their part. But Mr. Pee is here, so let me see where I can welcome him when he's coming through correctly. Then we can go through with the discussion. Mr. Pee, are you there? So I think he's working on something. So, like I was saying, this is something. Are you there, Mr. Pee?
Can you hear me?
Let me see. Mr. Pee, are you there?
I'm hearing you, but can you hear me?
All right. I hear you now.
Yeah, thank
All
you,
right,
man.
I get you now.
Thank you. A wonderful good to you. I think basically, I didn't really follow today again due to some busy schedule. I didn't follow major national issues today in the country, but I do know that I think this was today that the president dedicated the 34 or 36 buses, if I'm not mistaken. I heard that in certain quarters, I don't know if that is true. I was trying to reach out to you guys when we met there this afternoon, if it is true that the president was heckled and in certain quarter it was said that the president was heckled, that the president was heckled and booed. I don't know how true is this, but and I didn't follow. So I would love for you to just take some time off and just get out the hell quickly and the topical issue for today before we can move on.
Yeah, so Mr. P, are you hearing me? Okay. Yeah. I can get you. So, Mr. Namwe, welcome on the show. So,
it's good to be with you. How are you, my brother?
Yeah. So, like today, we had a lot of trending national issues here. So, the issue about the president today, I was also there at the National Transit Authority, NTA, where today the president turned over 36 vehicles to the Liberian people, so that it can be used for its internal purpose. So we also saw schools of Liberians were all on the main street cheering for the president when he did that. And in that process, the president was on board. One of the boss were brought into the country, and then while going, we saw Liberians were all waving to him. As we moved towards the Broad Street end, it was the time we saw a few group of citizens, just a few number of citizens were just parked at the entrance turning towards the Broad Street area. They were bullying. We were saying in our Liberian English, they were bullying at the president. So opposition takes everything serious. Opposition see everything to be a major issue or a main issue. So that video was training, and then as a result of that, the main issue that should be training, it was not training, but rather just a tip of that video was just trending on the social media as it relates to that boss issue. So we also saw on today at the red light that the issue I was discussing, Mr. Gamer. I don't know where you followed there, but maybe probably we'll play some of the videos here where in real life we saw Liberians, and we also saw some folks who claim to be probably Fula or Mandingo were having some misunderstanding about a land dispute, which sparked public attention, and people from all parts, they were all concerned about this issue. People calling from other counties, they are concerned about the issue in real life, and we saw a lot of issue. So for this issue, Mr. Piri asked me about, let me see where I can play that video where it is claimed that we have some citizens were bullying at the president. So let me see whether I can play that video for Mr. Nangwe to see, and we'll also play you the video from where Liberians were all there. So Mr. Nangwe, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so let me play this video first.
Thank you.
So this is the video I've been training on the social media, most especially from the opposition block. This is the video that I've been training on the social media about this boss issue. So Mr. Nangwe, you can just make your intake on it as we move to the next step.
Yeah, thank you, Maya. And I mean, I was reading the caption on the video, and I don't know what platform it is, but I guess we gotta give them credit. We don't own copyrights to that.
Yeah, Liberation TV.
There you go. So the caption is that the people are booing because of high unemployment and disrespect for the rule of law, lack of respect for the rule of law. I think those are very, very legitimate concerns that Liberians have. The bosses, I believe the president's intention is to help alleviate, the transportation problem around town. But everywhere, as in this country where we live, right, they continues to sample the people's view. They call it polling, and you have to do what is called read the room. When you enter a room, you got to read the people and understand, how to respond to them. You got to read the room. Apparently, transportation right now, even though it is important, but I don't think that's the number one issue right now for many people in Liberia. And so it looks like the president's intention to deliver transportation for our people. I don't know what the buses will be used for, but many people don't see that as a priority. So again, I don't want to say tone deaf, but it seems as though this is an action that is not in tune with the burning issues, that our people care about. Unemployment, they're saying it. Respect for the rule of law. Every time the MCC scorecard comes out, we've never been able to pass, respect for the rule of law, and that is a problem. And so, yeah, I see the people in a very long time. I haven't seen Liberians. And they always love their president, no matter what it is. But to so openly express their disapproval of this president's action to our brothers' bosses, it's telling. And the UP government and the UP people, they need to really take note and pay attention. I think it would not serve them if they just brush this off as and chalk it up as opposition trying to make the president look bad. I think those are very legitimate concerns. Those are real people out in the streets. And they're expressing, what they feel about what the government is doing. But Sylvester, welcome. Let me also use this time to welcome our audience. Thanks for joining us. Please do share the show and invite a friend.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Nagwe. So I think Mr. Pugh is kind
Professor, you're muted, so we can't hear you. Go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
I think he's busy. Okay.
No, quickly. I was thinking that, I just wanted to find out the reason, if it is true that actually the president was heckled and booed, if you will. I mean, the bosses, if you will, because part of that, the president drove in one of the bosses and out. I may have a different perspective. Every Liberian may have. Mr. Nambi has tried to explain his belief. If the folks believe that it's not a private, if all these things. But if you were to recall, one part of the reason why I'm trying to take stock of what is unfolding in the country, I know that things are tough in the country. Everybody would say to you it's difficult, particularly the young people. How are we going to start our day? How are we going to do this? How are we going to engage into this and all these things? Even from the transportation from Panonsville, just from where I live, Dixville directly to town, it will cost you on your daily commute back and forth. It will cost you more than, because just on motorbike from here to Bernardville Junction, I think it's $100. Is that correct? $100, yes, on motorbike. And then if you were to just move from where I live to Bernardville Junction, that's going to cost you $200 back and forth. Imagine if you had to continue to town, it will be more than $1,000, Mr. Nambe, on a daily basis. So I will think, and on the MT, I think it's somehow reasonable. But the government will have to do things, and that's one of the things I said to one of my comrades today, that for the government to believe that you will do some of these things, intervention, and not solve the bread and butter issue, it's going to be a serious problem, where you have a lot of the citizenry of the country finding things very difficult in terms of even finding the means to feed their family, put food on the table. We have a lot of market women selling in the market. One of them told me yesterday that there are more people selling than people going to buy. I thought we needed to see more people. For instance, now we're preparing for, in the Western world, they're all preparing for Black Friday. It will interest you to note, Mr. Nambe, before the Black Friday, you will see a lot of people, or every day you see most of all those shopping centers will be packed with people going to purchase for themselves, for their family, and for a lot of friends and relatives, if you will. But if you see the people doing that, I would think this would be a major concern, that the government should focus more or less on creating more viable opportunities for the people to begin to see some tangible changes in the country. It's commendable for them to bring 36 buses, brand new buses. I know it's from Tata Motors from India. It's important. These buses are going to contribute in easing the transportation needs of the people. And I would be very honest to say it's commendable. We should commend the government for that. But if the people wouldn't appreciate you bringing the buses, this should be a reminder to the state that there are problems around. and the folk people are not taking this lightly. So if you were to notice the people from the major metropolitan terrain of the country behaving in a manner, that statement going to translate across the country, and that narrative is terrible. It's not a good thing for a ruling establishment, particularly where we have the central, where we population base is very much centralized, if you will. You know, so you have almost speculated that 1.2 and 1 point something million, or almost 2 million people within the metropolitan area of Monrovia in its environment, if you will. That include the outskirts of the area and all those suburban communities, if you will, and rural Mosurado also. So it's troubling. If you were to think, the people, the way they think here will be across the country, you know. So there will have to be kind of a move, particularly designed by the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, because that's the strategic arm of the government in terms of development and putting into place those strategic policies that will have to reflect on the livelihood of the Liberian people. So a lot more will have to happen in terms of shifting the dynamics of what is unfolding in the country currently. If you came on the matter of change and rescue, that basically will have to reflect on what you engage with. Almost 2 years into your term, your first term, 2 years running in almost, we headed to December soon. And then the people are now jeering and heckling the president. It's not a good thing to do. It's not a good sign, and you know. So there's a lot more we have to focus on moving the country forward in terms of that. But when I was there in the country, I would say to you that the people are not happy. The people are angry. They are hungry, and situation that may not be as good as you want to think if you're even trying to do some project somewhere and where people are going to bed hungry. I agree. It's a serious concern that the government will have to focus on. If they were to change the narrative, there will have to be some significant intervention.
It is, and Sylvester, I mean, you do make some very critical points there too. But look, you are in Monrovia. We all go to Monrovia. Back in the day when you were younger, you know, yeah, we're all riding the bus from point A to point B. But most of these people, they ride on motorbikes. So the buses, you know, they will help to alleviate. But how many people really stand around waiting for bus these days? Not a lot of people. What you're saying is probably what should be to lower the cost of getting either on the bike or on the bus, by lowering probably the cost of gasoline and stuff like that. I think it will be helpful. And so this is a good attempt by the government, but I think it misses the mark. I think it is not the number one foremost issue that people are dealing with. You're saying it, and you're not the only one. Everybody. Yesterday, Johnny was saying the same thing here. People get up and they're talking about they don't even know how they're going to get through the day. You know, how they wake up hungry and all day they spend the day hustling, trying to find something to eat. Now, if you put food on one side of the table and put transportation on the other side, what do you think people are going to choose? So again, as I was saying, you got to feel the pulse. You got to understand, you know, the issues that matter to your people, and then you address them. I know the president means he's very, very I don't want to say fixated, but you know, he's very concerned with the transportation movement, you know, the roads, transportation, and I think it's a good thing. But he has to also understand there are other issues that exist, and some of these issues are now overtaking the concern for transportation, daily survival. People get up, you know, and like I said, most of the people, they get on the pin, they get on the keke, they go from point A to point B. They're not going to wait for a bus, you know, 40, 50 people on one bus. You know, the bus drives 5 minutes, it stops. It put one person off, another person comes in. And that's how we used to get it wrong. And that's how the president remembers getting it wrong. But, you know, a lot has changed. You know, and I think the buses, I think this gesture is good. But I think it in the order of priorities. I think it does not come first or second or probably even third. So the people are in the street. I heard some of the president people are not happy and they calling the people unpatriotic and calling them names and all of that. But those are the real people. They're expressing their views unvarnished, exactly how they feel. That's what they let the president know. So his policy advisors, they need to go back to the drawing table and reorder their priorities. Maybe what they think is important to the people may not be as important to the people as what they don't think is important to them. It's just a fact of the matter. It's just like those people in the relief business. You don't get and start building wealth because you think the people need wealth. You should always make sure, you bring in the people what they want. So it is good to be in touch with the people, and that way you know what matters to them most. I don't know if the transportation thing really is priority number one. Then there is the whole concern of where are the roads that these buses are going to travel on. I mean, our roads right now, even the roads around Monrovia, are they suitable? By the time you cross Freeport, you're going towards Logan Town, all those places, the potholes are still there. I mean, they're doing well, they're doing much better now, but the roads are the roads ready for the buses? I don't know. You are there, Sylvester. You're in Monrovia now. I was there in April. I left in May.
Oh yes. So we still got some major challenges in this country.
Yeah.
Major challenges. The country have not even gotten on the real footing to living from the trajectory of poverty yet. The country have not gotten out of that footing. Even within the Monrovia and its environment, if you will, most of the even the community roads, most of them are terrible. The only time you have some major roads would be most of the roads that we see with some pavement now are the roads that was done during Madame Saline days. Like they started at Lave, the Bannersville Junction all the way to Quebec, coming passing through Dixville and Dalakawe. That project was started by Eden Johnson Sirleaf, and the WIA administration came and moved it up to Coward Junction. The Eden Johnson also did the Coward Bridge there, and then did the Coward Road into wet plains, if you will. The WIA administration did the Pueblo Road, hitting Johnsonville and coming through to Drivers Market. It was done by WIA. That was a very terrible road before. And what that did is that it opened up the entire Johnsonville, Mount Barclay area. We are talking from the that side all the way to Mount Barclay. It opened up the road in terms of to draw some economic value to that community and those communities, if you will, and moving on. Yet we haven't seen even the Tusafi Balance the Exit, Small Market Junction, Tusafi Balance the Exit route. That was also done by the WIA administration. We haven't yet, and the road also I think was done by Madame Sirleaf, the back south, the Jamaica Road, connecting to Logan Town and then back into the Coward Bridge Road connecting to Coward, and then the back pass moving to a farm and part of the community moving to a farm to St. Paul Bridge and then moving upward. I haven't seen yet beyond that, and then the WIA and the Eden government also did part of the soul cleaner. I don't know how far they were attempting to do the soul cleaner. They didn't do that. They were not successful with that for now. But beyond that, the WIA served this also the entire rehab area. They did the dual community, and they did some other things. For now, I haven't seen, but they said there's plenty in this new budget that I think want to facilitate those roads. I will ask the government to also move in doing a lot of community roads, having them paved, because those community roads, they can be terrible, very terrible, if you will. Even for people that are living in there, it can be. One of those areas will be the FBA side, been that way for a very long time. I hope that will be done. The soul cleaning side, I hope it will be done. If they can do that, starting to connect most of those major communities to the service road will be very important. But there's serious, I want to say very exogenous, very exogenous factor pulling things down. And so we've not yet started on the footing of transformation. We not yet. We stay in some So if the government will have the opportunity of the way how to engage and initiate some of these things that will begin the process of pushing more national development, and that will uplift the life of the people and bring some economic relief to them, it would be something very commendable. But for now, I mean, the country is the country, and we thank God for blessing the country, but the leadership themselves have to muster the courage and design those strategies that are basically needed to boot the country and have the country moving forward. Other than that, we're in a serious problem moving on for now. It's difficult, and I will be concerned now that the sun is coming. Most of those areas will be dry. The road will be pliable. People will commute. The commute will be a little rough, difficult, but it somehow will be a little bit bumpy and pliable. But during the rain is just getting possible. But we're getting some information that we think this $1.2 billion budget, there's some light at the end of the tunnel. I will hope and pray because it will benefit our people. I'm not one person that's going to be very insensitive that say, oh, it's not going to happen. Then I'm a evil thinker trying to wish the administration wrong. No, absolutely not. I want to do that. I will think that we all should project the country moving forward and pray that we're told that this coming, how they call it, dry season, there's going to be a lot of things happening between now and the time. Even your county, we're going to have a quota road. They say we will take hours to go to Maryland, and I will hope that. I will hope and pray that I'm tied connected to Maryland, my wife is from Maryland and all those things, so I will be delighted if that would be the case.
We would be delighted. From time immemorial, that I mean, the latest major, Samuel Doe came that I remember, the Gunter Harper Highway Road. I don't know if you remember that, Sylvester. Yeah, President Doe declared he was going to do the Gunter Harper Highway. I think, if I'm not mistaken, some $50 million. But anyway, that road has always been on the verbal planning table of most presidents. Even recently, President Weah, I think it was Speaker Kofa, if I'm not mistaken, or Minister Tue, who declared that that road was back on the planning table, and they were going to make sure to appropriate money in the budget for that road every budget year. So, but they left, or we didn't see much. The former president, he had to campaign in the chapel to go to the southeast, which many of us saw as a slap in the face. I mean, if the roads are not good for you to, travel on, then how good are the people to you when you're going to meet them by helicopter? How many of us from that side can afford, to get a helicopter ride from Monrovia to Harper or Greenville, And so, yeah, if this current president will do that, I think it will be a major coup if they can do that. But I can also tell you that the CMC has its sights set on the southeast. The CMC has announced they're bringing in 26 yellow machines by July. Honorable Musa Zambelete is on his way to China in the next few days. I think they've already awarded a contract, and those machines should be in the country by January or so. 17 of those 26 machines have been earmarked for the southeast. His wife is from Sino. I am from Maryland, from Barobo. I'm between Callaway and Rover G. He has announced that as a courtesy to what we do for the party, he's going to make sure to pass through where I'm from, which I appreciate very much. So he will be with us on this coming weekend. We're having a virtual convention. He'll be talking to my people there. So, but all in all, if we can finally put a spotlight on the Southeast, I don't care who does it. I will be very happy if the government does it, but I will also be very, very happy if the CMC does it. But it's about time. Sylvester, I mean, you say your wife is from there, I believe. So you may understand what the people go through over there. I mean, during the rainy season we are cut off, and so the people usually have to go to Ivory Coast, through Taboo and other places, and the cost of living there is very, very, very difficult. The little basic necessities, they have to go to a different country to get those. We'll be happy we can travel from Monrovia to Harper, on a paved road, and be able to, connect with our people. So it will excite us. So if this government is going to put that in the budget, we're still looking through the budget. I don't see much because of this $1.2 billion that we're discussing. It is still a draft budget, but only $280 million of that money is put aside to do everything else. Education, agriculture, the roads, rule of law, security. Everything is coming out of two. And that is not a good sign. That is not a good sign. You're proposing a budget of $1.2 billion, and by what 23% or so of that money is set aside for development. The rest of it is going to consumables, and so it is difficult to imagine how they're going to do that. That there's that. Then there is the news of the $363 million. I don't know if you've heard much about it, Sylvester. The $363 million that is contract that is being debated with this Sierra Leonean. Many people believe he doesn't have the capacity to deliver on this huge contract. But that's just for 255 kilometers. I haven't done the conversion between kilometers and miles. If anybody listening, I think it's 0.62 mile to 1 kilometer, or 1 kilometer to 1 mile. You can do the conversion. But for that money, 363 million. I listened to Musa Azambelete, who is into the road construction business. He believes for less than half of that money, for about 40% or so of that money, we can do the road that they're trying to do, because they're going to the northeast, Cape Mount, they're going to, Cape Mount area from, the various, they give the, description of the areas they're going to go, TNE and other places, 255 kilometers. It's less than 200 miles. So for that kind of money, we should be able to get a lot out of it. But why are we even doing that when we have the yellow machines in country? What was the purpose of the yellow machines? A lot of us felt that this is what the yellow machines, were brought in for, so that we'll stop giving people so much money, and paying so much overhead, because these contractors, they got to pay, So we felt the government was now going to take over the business of doing the roads and all of that at a reasonable price. So you have the yellow machine. I don't know if we pay for them yet. They're not being used. Now we want to give $363.9 million to somebody else to do 255 kilometers of road. What is all this about? We don't understand. And so the people are not feeling all of these things, Sylvester. So if you see them in the streets, I think it's a general expression of their frustration and impatience, and disappointment with what is happening. They don't see any light at the end of the tunnel soon enough. And they, like I said, you people, they have to really take notice of this, because it only takes once. Here they call breaking it in. Once you attempted it once the people have tried this, they got to be careful. There is a likelihood that they will continue to boo this president, and I dislike it. I don't agree with it, because I think we should respect the presidency. But notwithstanding, the people are angry, and justifiably so. I think they're giving this government almost 2 years now. When are they going to get on with it already? And then people are seeing, the building $10 million complex in Lupoya, all of this that's happening. The people listen to the news, But welcome, Robert.
Thank you. As a number, been following. Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome, Robert. On a serious note, and I agree with bulk of what you said, that there's a need to actually for the government to put into place. It's not a good thing for the leader of a country to be all the time heckle and boo and any other lines, but lot of serious things the government will have now put to bear. On the ground, things are not. You see the people. It was, and I didn't when I heard this today. Someone sent me the clip, and I thought that it is not a good sign for us. We have to collectively engage as government to do the job for the people. Listen, the Liberian people are no longer going to be relaxed and allowing the government to just do everything and do anything. No, they're going to start speaking up. And as the democracy advances, the people are going to have their own way of trying to push some of these things. It's quite unfortunate, and I thought we as people should there's a way we can go about doing this and changing the whole narrative, if not stopping it from happening, right? But seeing the country and seeing the people, I thought people should be celebrating when some of these things are unfolding. But the way it is, it's not a good sign. It's not.
But Raul coming, but it's like Sylvester, you're hungry, and then I can't visit you. I bring you one brand new trousers. I mean, are you really gonna be jumping up and down? I mean, you like it, it's beautiful and everything, but is it really what you want at the time?
And and that's the problem. And that's what I said to the Minister of Finance and Development will have to be now very strategic as to how to do a lot of things, think outside and bring about now the way to handle this issue. And the principal reason why Mr. Bouaka won these elections 2 years or 3 years ago almost is because the people felt that they were hungry, they couldn't afford the bread and butter issue. Now, it was not Mr. As I started naming most of the roads Mr. We did around here in terms of paving the road. We saw sports community bill, park bill, new market bill, and other things. But the post said the market said our bill, they said were difficult things. And that's the same thing that's coming up. That's the same thing. If they would jail the president and boo the president, it's not a good sign. It's not a good sign for the leader to be. Now, listen, the first time it ever happened to Judy Brown was the beginning of his disgrace. The late entrant leader, transitional leader, when they boo and heckle him, right? Call him names in down water side and other thing. So it's not a good thing. So the major we need investors to pull in, create more job opportunity. When the young people start saying they can start their day, then maybe we can pay their children's school fees, and Papa will come home. He said Papa will come home with plastic bag. But we're not seeing plastic bag.
Right.
Right, go ahead, man.
I've been following great exchanges. I don't have long here, but I just thought to just join the conversation for a few minutes. Yeah, man, it's unfortunate. I asked a question today. I said, but why were the folks, why were they boarding the bus, and what did the buses do to them? But when you are, and I think Liberians, I think that their eyes are beginning to open, right? Because when government think that they have scored political points by dedicating buses. Listen, don't get me wrong. I think the National Transport Agency, I think they need that, right? But even with those buses, you still have transportation issues across the country, right? And so people are looking at it. I know you guys were making an analogy about when you don't have food, but almost like you have a car, but you're struggling to buy gas. And so then what's the essence of having the car, right? When you can use that money
exactly
and just take a bike and have enough to purchase food, you might be better off. But there's no, or you have a car, but you can afford the insurance for the vehicle, right? And so when people see the government, and a lot of times, you have folks that come from Liberia, you know, people my age or even younger than me. And when they see the lifestyle that you live or the kind of car certain folks are driving, they get excited like, oh, I need to get that. And the first thing I always say is you can ride, you can go to the parking lot if you got the credit and you got the down payment and pick up anything from the parking lot. You can go and, you know, and purchase a home. But the question is, can you afford that? That's the question. Can you afford that? Because it's not just about having a down payment for a vehicle. It's about making sure that you have the financial stability to afford the maintenance of that vehicle when something do happen. You know, and so people are watching that going, we can better eat. We can praise the parading of these buses all day, but once we leave a Broad Street, we have to struggle to go back to our homes. Our children are looking up to us, you know, because we cannot afford a 3 course meal for them, or 3 times a day breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We can't afford that. Our kids are selling in the market and they're coming home with nothing, right? So what is the essence of this? People can ride these buses all day. They can ride these buses all day at the cheapest possible price. But if they left from point B to point A or A to B, and they're coming back home with less than what they're paying to take those rides to where they're going, it tells you that something is not right. So the government, the buses are good. All of these things are good. When people talk about $336 million, you know, I'm sitting here thinking, if the government says that they have $143 million, that's 40% of the project. Great. Road connectivity, great. But if we are talking about creating jobs for Liberians, right? Why are we giving such a contract to a Sierra Leone company? Let's be practical for a second. Are we saying that we don't have, even if we have to partner with foreign entities because the project is so big, and we don't have a Liberian company at home to carry those projects. If we have $140-some million, you mean to tell me the government cannot create an environment where we can invest that in Liberians to carry out these projects? And what's even troubling, Mr. Nangwe, is that I know I heard you talk about that earlier, is that these guys, they have not told the government in the negotiation. They did not guarantee the government on how they were supposed to raise 200, and because the government already put $140-some million on the table, Sylvester. So if the government have 40% of that, they have not told.
145 million, yeah. And
Yes.
the rest of it is supposed to come from them.
Right.
And yeah.
So but they did not guarantee in negotiation how they intend to raise the money.
Yeah.
Come to find out, they're thinking about borrowing the money.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking about borrowing the money, then what interest? Who's going to pay? What is the paying plan? What's the payment plan? It falls back on Liberia, and it falls back on. And then what even blew my mind was this idea that we can generate in revenue over $50 million into revenue.
Yeah.
Wait. What's the data that shows that? How you plan on generating $50 million into revenue from whom?
Yeah.
This very company was at the center of the toll establishment in Sierra Leone, and while we were celebrating, people did not know. Few years ago, the government had to restructure the toll process because they were losing $6 million annually on investor on investor revenues. They had to restructure the whole toll process. This very company were at the center of that structure. So if we are going to, if you're putting all these big numbers without showing the data to prove that yes, we can generate 50. I mean, I read this stuff and I'm like, damn, Where are our experts on these things? Where are
Yeah.
our because I'm not an expert, it's common sense to tell you that that number is completely off. There is
Yeah.
no way you can convince me that Liberia can generate $50 million annually from toll revenue. Great idea. But why are we allowing these folks who they are not intelligent, they're not more intelligent than us, but we're allowing these guys to play games with us. There has to be some kind of interest that allows these things to happen, right? Because you got the government already said I have $145 million. How you going to raise the money? They don't, if they don't have 200 and something $1 million in that, if they don't have over 200 some million in that account, why should we even trust that they have the resources to carry out this project? So when you see the people booing, they are
Yeah.
sending a message to our government, and it's up to our government to take that in and say, listen, what needs to be done? I heard the president talk about, and I'll close on this note, that the future of Liberia and the future of those folks who are, backing, it's not in back, it's not in motorcycle. Okay, that sounds good. So you were telling me that our future is not in motorcycling, and our children's future is not in motorcycling. The question then is, tell us what is our future? What are you creating? What environment are you creating to ensure that we do have a future? Right
But
now,
Raul, I know you will continue. Don't stop. But let me just say this: our book can say what? Drive me sweet. But what
oh
are you gonna
yeah,
eat while the meat is drying? And they say life is what is happening to you while you're planning for the future. And all these things, I'm sure they know about it. Yeah, we're looking to the future, but the people are talking about now. How do I get from here to that future?
exactly. Sylvester can go home all day, and I know this firsthand. We can go home. This is the reason why going home to Liberia is a process, and people don't understand is easy. We got people in Liberia that depend on us. You will be surprised. We're talking yesterday about how much people spend at the airport. They spend no time in Liberia where I've gone to Liberia without spending $400-500 at the airport in less than 1 hour. By the time you get back, by the time you get home, you look at your stuff and like, damn, I just spent this amount in cash,
Yeah.
right? And you have no idea how this money went. My dad is on his way back home, and he was going to the bank specifically to get $10, $20, $5 specifically for tipping. And I was joking with him. I'm like, how much did you change for $10, $20 for tipping? And we talk about that. And I was like, make sure you don't spend all of that at the airport,
Yeah.
right? Because it happens so fast. People are hardworking. They want to work. They want to enjoy themselves. But it's a lot when you go to Liberia on vacation, and you are spending money that you would not spend in other countries that people say,
No.
well, you would not spend. If I went to Italy or Dubai, in Dubai, I've been to Dubai, it's very expensive, but there's no way I'm spending $5,000 in 1 week. In
No.
Liberia, it goes like
But
that.
even in the sub-region, Robert, and you continue again, Monrovia is probably the most expensive city I've seen in the sub-region. You go
Absolutely.
Accra, you go Lagos, Abidjan. No, you don't spend money like that. You didn't spend Monrovia,
Yes,
and you don't see what
absolutely.
you're paying for.
No. And so it's expensive. What are you creating? What kind of environment are you creating for those guys? And so hopefully my hope is, and unless Sylvester got to come in, my hope is we need to go beyond this bullying, right? If you're not happy with what you got, if you're not happy with where you are, if you're not happy with this kind of leadership that has been exhibited from all of our politicians, from the legislature to the judiciary, to the executive, if you're not happy with the kind of government that you have, our people have to understand they have the power to change that. No one else does, but they have the power to change the dynamics. They have the power to change the trajectory. They have the power. It's one thing when politicians says where your future lies. It's another thing when politicians are not doing anything or they fail to do anything to really help you get to that future that you want to get to. And so they have the power. So they have to go beyond bullying. We have an election coming up, in 2029, if they're not happy with the type of leadership, they have to make a bold decision. Say, you know what? We need to make a decision. We need to make a risky decision. They always say it's better to stay with the devil that you know than the angel you don't know. But maybe we need to go to an angel we don't know. At the end of the day, you have nothing to lose anyway. What you gonna lose? You've been with the devils all day, and the devil has shown you what they have. So you might as well try the angel you don't know. If that angel messed up, at least you try and you found out, right? You never try, you never know, right? But if you don't try and you continue to be with the devil you know, and that devil continue to abuse you, you will continue to boo and you continue to boo. But that booing means nothing because those guys will head back to the air-conditioned homes. That children will drive nice cars in Liberia. And all of us that are on this platform talking, guess what? We will still be okay in Liberia. It doesn't matter where we are. So it's not about us. It's about you. It's about you because God has blessed us. We want to make sure that our government create an environment so God can bless your dreams as well. So it's about you. They have to move beyond the booing and take some actions. And the best place to act is at the ballot box. That's just how I see it.
Will be the means now for us to do that, and that's one of the reasons why the Unity Party came back to power was via the ballot box. That's the only way that and what I'm currently seeing, I mean, I don't think it's going to change much. If it does, then yes, the country is going to decide, the voters are going to decide so how they're going to move things on. But a lot of things. Maya, what I think Maya, there was another basic topic today. We decided to say Monday we're now going to look into this national budget thing. Because a number we all spoke of it yesterday. Probably we'll do some. I'm informed that some political party, Mr. Cummings, will be reacting to giving some analysis. The ANC will be giving her own analysis about the budget, basically beginning to edit next week. We're going to be hearing their side of it, and they're going to align that because one of the things that we notice is if the caution on the guys from the ANC, Mr. Cummings side, what they're saying is the budget actually aligned with the arrest agenda. Is the budget aligned with the arrest agenda? And I was looking into the budget myself, and last night, this morning rather, and what I observed was that because one of the first things in the arrest agenda is this major pillar in their agenda is the agriculture. See the amount they have there for agriculture. So if their arrest is not, the budget is not aligned with that, then that is a serious room for concern also. So we're going to take time and run through the analysis.
Yes, what you do, line up Larry. He had offered, I think he wanted to come on, if I'm not mistaken, on Tuesday or Wednesday. You guys are all, you know the numbers, but I think he spends more time on these things. So I think he's ready to go.
Yeah, then we can hold on him for Tuesday.
Get some other financial experts too, other than just Larry. Get one or two other guys to come on.
We can do that. We call us to look into the budget and do.
But Sylvester, let's talk about the because I just thought about that as well when you asked the question. Let's mention what they have in the budget for agriculture. $13 million.
Yeah.
That's less than 1%. And then look at what they have in the budget for anti-corruption programs. $34.2 million. Can you imagine that? Why would you give to be honest with you, because if you look over the years, what has these programs produced? It has not helped Liberia. It has not helped curtail corruption or eliminate corruption, right? So why would you not switch the budget, give agriculture $34 million, and give anti-corruption programs $13 million? Why? I'm like, that something isn't right about those numbers.
Yeah, so we're going to take time to look into that. But the general concern actually is that if you were to notice the people behaving in certain manner, I think one of the best things to do if this budget is passed and then we have our first instrument of $1.2 billion, it's a good news a year. At least the country is moving upward. But if the country is moving up, it's just like we say, growth with no development. There's a problem. It's concerning. There's growth, there's no development. Growth, there's no impartation. That's concerning. So, but I would hope that the system will structure itself and put into place, because the government is instituted by the will of the people. It is their power that institute government, and the government should work in line with the thought processes of the people. And that's why many times politicians will say, if the people vote, and then if they won, part of the first side will start giving speech, they say, the voice of the people have been heard. I'm the voice of God. The voice of God is the voice of the people. But I mean, if that is the case, the people should be we should be in the interest of the people, so that there will be money pumped into infrastructure development, electricity, service delivery, so that the people will enjoy it. Road connectivity, so that the vehicle will not be in the purple. So all those things troubling, So sometimes it's a very difficult thing.
The Ministry of State for Presidential Affairs even got more money than the Agriculture Ministry. They're spending 15-point-something million. I'm like, yo.
Yeah. But listen, I love to be with you guys, but I got to work with that webinar that starts in about 4 minutes, so I got to log off.
Yeah.
Let me quickly, sorry, Robert.
Yeah, I think we'll log off.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Yeah, exactly.
Let me let Telvi know. She's asking about Jerome. Jerome was here yesterday, but he's having some real serious technical problem. I think he said Comcast even came by today. They haven't been able to resolve his internet problem, Telvi. Dr. Peabody was here briefly. I mean, we voiced yesterday. So you say he and Tomlin are not joining us because he's in Monroe. You just let us start fights. So I just wanted to let you know that Dr. Peabody was on yesterday, and I'm sure Tomlin will come on soon. Sylvester is joining us from Monrovia too, if you didn't know that. And why aren't you coming on anyway?
The girl wasn't talking about Sylvester. The girl sees Sylvester. The girl was talking about Tourmaline and Dr. Peabody. So Dr. Peabody has joined. The only person I haven't joined yet is Tourmaline. And you know what? Tourmaline joined yet. Tourmaline is still meeting with his buddy, the honorable vice president.
He's in a place where he cannot broadcast, right?
Yeah, and that's what he's doing.
She
won't start fights.
Yeah, she won't hold the rope.
Yeah, man.
That won't hold the rope. You want that one hold the rope.
All right, guys. Thank you, man. I'll join you guys tomorrow.
All right, guys. All right, Mike. You guys have a great night, okay?
Okay.
So, Mr. Pee-wee, I don't know where we can just open the line a little bit, or you want to go out?
Yeah. Just open the line because we have people.
Yeah. So before I open the line, there's an issue. I don't know whether any of you follow it from the real end, where we saw there's a huge traffic there this morning. Also, there's a huge tension there between people claim it is mostly in that of a Christian, which of course, or just something between they are all Liberian, but the others are from the Muslim background, and then the other is from another background, but they are Fula and Mandingo. So because of that, it was a land dispute. And then people are coming out, putting on social media that one of the imams were brutally beaten. And as a result of that, tomorrow they are coming out to be able to protest at the Ministry of Justice, demanding justice for this fellow. So I think I can just play the video so you can just have more insight on what I'm talking about.
Welcome back here. Wherever you are watching us live from, welcome back. Lebanon National Police Force is moving in. Welcome back from this short break. Just a short break here. My name is Ryan V. Chobby. I'm coming to you live from Red Light. So Lebanon National Police is moving in here. So they are throwing stools. Back up. Oh! target. I got no small rival. So folks, welcome back. This is serious tension here. As you can see, another person is up there throwing. Woo! So folks, there you have it. Just right before our camera. There you have it. So folks, citizens are here. Fire is here. Just right before this area. So folks, as you can see, yeah. So folks, so let's see how we can move along with them. Let's see. Let's see whether we can bring you play-by-play description here. By whatever means you are watching us live, my name is Moyen D. Tobin. We are coming to for red light here. We are trying to protect ourselves. This is a serious tension here. So they are trying to off the tire.
So citizens have packed the Laban National Police to infect those from the cameras coming out.
So folks, we are trying to move to bring you. They are arrested one person. One person has been arrested. One person has been arrested here. One person. Olha, vem acesa!
So, Mr. Pugh, that's just a little tip there. So there was a little land dispute there, wherein some Fula or Mandingo guys believed to be the owner of that land, and then a fellow who's also claimed that the property is for him, and then they went through the court process. He won the case, and then the court told him to ask the people to leave the property, and then he asked the people to give them a little time to turn over the property. So in that process, they took the entire goods from the store, but I don't know for why exactly. Just created that scene to be a chaotic one for a resident of that area, where we saw over 10 young people and adults. There were some of them were, according to report, some of them were from Malay, while some of them were Mandingos and Fula. They were in that place throwing some petrol bombs at the police officer and also citizens on the main street using gasoline. They were trying to burn the entire building, but as a result, the Labrador Fire Service, they were in time, and they were also there to help put the fire under control. But this is the current issue. But we are seeing on the social media from the folks from the Muslim background or the Fula guys, they are on the social media planning protests to go at the executive mansion. So maybe you can just throw light on it, because that have been one of the key issues right now. If you open the line, where Liberians are going to make their view on it.
Yes, I heard a little of that today, but the fracas that unfolded today was very unfortunate to see that. And that says tell you how deep and how dangerous and deeply polarizing the situation in this country, and say the fragility of our society. The society is very fragile. You heard when they arrested the other guy there, you heard people saying, "Kill him! Let's kill him! Kill him!" Then people moving there with scissors and other things, and so the society is deeply fragile, and we have to understand very deeply that this is a post conflict country, and a post conflict country we have to be very mindful of not trying to come back to the days of the insurrection that devastated the country, and today we still trying to reboot to get back on course. And it's the process wherein the rule of law is not functioning. There's a breakdown of everything, law and order, total breakdown of law and order in the country. And so the law enforcing authority will have to be very, very constrained and rigid in terms of, and very rigorously enforcing the law in terms of those that want to violate. If the court did give an eviction order, listen, we have to respect the decision of the court. You went to court. The other person won, and there's an eviction order, you get evicted. But you see, when the police move in, and these guys trying to resist or obstruct the implementation of the court decision, and there's nothing really happening to these people that are trying to obstruct the police, you see people trying to do the same moving forward. There will have to be some punitive action taken to discourage people from engaging into this kind of a thing. It's very unfortunate. It was very chaotic, but I think the law, the police will have to be very, very much rigid in terms of bringing some of this ugly scene back and reminding people of the very devastating civil crisis we went through. Some of us spent the time on the ground, Maya. We saw the war. We went into it deeply. We saw it. We didn't participate, but we were victim of it in other wars. So to see the country trying to replay that scenario, I think it's just unfortunate.
I mean, yeah, I think you said it all, Sylvester. I heard that. Let's kill him. And it looks like the police themselves are incapacitated. Even I saw a few of them have arms. They have guns. But even with that,
but today, not to cut you off, Mr. Gagwa, today it was the citizens who entered the property before the police, because the police now have control over these guys from in. So it was a citizen who started throwing stones to the extent that the people who were in, they never had any control again, but rather for the citizen to enter in.
yeah, I mean, so basically, essentially, the citizen outworked or outdid the police, and even with guns. I mean, I saw a few police officers with guns, baton and guns. These guys are not afraid of anything. It's and like Sylvester said, it shows how fragile our security is in Liberia. It's just but for the mercy of God, and that we have continued to enjoy sustained peace after all these years. But this also says that as a country, we need to do something about vulnerable young men and women. We need to do something about rehabilitation and reintegration. We have not done that. And we take this very lightly. The possibility of chaos, right, escalating to a place that looks like war can happen anytime. It's possible. It takes little or nothing. I saw the LDA guys the other day. I think they were at the site where they were supposed to be burning drugs, and The LDA boss was throwing a few Liberian dollars, and while those guys were celebrating, you could see how desperate they were to go and pick up money. Now imagine a drug dealer engaging or encountering those guys. And I'm not trying to indict the LDA, but when you have a society where people, especially people who are put in strategic places to combat all of these different things that are destroying our country, if they are not properly trained, if they are not given the tools to effectively do their jobs, if they are not well paid, if they are not professional, there are loopholes that these guys can easily maneuver. And man, and it just, when I saw that happen, I'm like, wow. Imagine how easily drugs are entering the country, because it doesn't take much to really convince these guys, you know, I'd rather just go with what it wasn't it for me than to do the right thing, because at the end of the day, I'm not even getting paid much. But that video is disturbing. It's disturbing. And I'll close on this note. Sylvester said something and I thought was very profound, that I think, Sylvester, you should just live in Liberia, because when you're in Liberia, we can agree more when you're in America. So you should just live in Liberia. But Sylvester said something that was very profound. We should respect the coast. But the problem here is, and how not respecting court orders could influence other decisions moving forward. But this is what happens when our very government refuses to respect court's order. We saw what happened with the Supreme Court, the highest court in the land. We saw what happened when the executive branch of government, right, deliberately disrespected and disobeyed the court's order. Citizens are watching that go, and nothing became of it. They won at the end of the day. Nothing became of it. Nothing became of it. When citizens see their leaders do something, they will do it. When citizens see representatives take a third lane and they're getting in oncoming traffic rather than respecting the traffic rules, they will follow those vehicles. We see that happen often in Liberia. When your children or your child see you do something or use certain words, they think this is okay to be used. People are watching us. When people see us speak the way we speak, when people see us take certain decisions and certain actions, certain positions, people who respect us, people who look up to us to analyze the issues, they think it's okay. So when the government themselves cannot respect the Supreme Court ruling, others feel like, you know what? Why should I respect the ruling of a lower court? So we need to change that.
Okay, so you can put in your course. I think it is time. You can put in your course 077764996 plus 23177764996 to call us. And we also have our diaspora line here. Also pinned on the wall on the main screen there. So if you want to make your contribution on end of this discussion here, 077764996. 9986. We also have for our WhatsApp lines plus 231-777-649986. The numbers to call us. So let me see where we can pick up this first caller who is on the line here. Hello, caller. Hello. Is that you? Are you hearing them?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you hearing the caller?
So can we?
Oh, okay. To just close up, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we can just close up anyway.
Okay. Okay.
Thank
you, man. Good night.
Okay. Thank you all so much. So you can just go off. I'll just take call and then close up. So 07776499986 plus 231-777-649986. You can call and make your contribution here on Truth 96.1, and we are also relay on Kia Radio 12 minutes past 11 o'clock from our end here. 07776499986. If there's no call, maybe probably we can just take it off a day. But I think we have someone on the line. Someone kept calling. but we are not getting you through. So please don't beep us. 077649986 07776499986. For our WhatsApp line is +231 777649986 here. So if there's no call, we just take it of a day here. So we can just play this a little bit and then go for break. Let's go for this one.
So for this is
Okay, so we have someone on the line. Yeah, let's pick up this person. Hello, caller.
Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Your name and where do you call from?
My name is Raz. I do join you from Capital Bypass this evening.
Capital Bypass. How is Capital Bypass?
Capital Bypass is school this evening.
Okay, what's your contribution tonight?
My issue I've been joined to the 10 million project that is being constructed in Lofa County by the president. It's something that is alarming, and it's alleged that that project has been constructed for the president. It's a retirement home in Foya, Lofa County, and citizens of that place are finding difficulties in accessing that building. It's something that is alarming to the public. So I think this government should do the just benefit to the Liberian people by telling us the source of the income and why are the intent of the projects. And secondly, my attention will be joined to the people living with disabilities. And it's so frustrating. And seeing sort of people on the street protesting. And according to them today, most of them were saying that they want to die. The government should kill them. It's something that I think today when I watched the video, my heart was broken, man. Seeing people protesting. I don't think this is the first time they did it before. I think there were 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago they've been protesting. I don't know what this government is doing. They should fire and do the just thing for the people. They're going to keep on the slogan of rescue. Who have been rescued? Who have been rescued? The issue of bread and butter issue are not even solved by the president and his government. While you're suffering, you are getting poor. What those in position are getting rich everything. Thank you so much for the time.
Okay, you're welcome. 07776499986. We have the lines activated. 07776499986. +231 77776499986. You can also call us and make your contribution on any trending national issue or some of the issues that we have discussed here. So we have roughly about 14 minutes to go. Up next is the next show coming up next. And my name is Mine D. Tobin, the regular host and presenter of the closing argument here. Yeah, so let's see what we can pick up this next caller who is on the line here. 07776499986. Let me see if I can pick up this next person. Hello, caller. Hello.
Hello, Chief.
Yeah, what's your name? Your name and where do you call from?
Thank you very much. My name is Efrain Carr, and this is a vision baptized journey from Casari Boulevard.
Casari Boulevard. Yes, Casari Boulevard.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, so what's your contribution tonight?
Yeah, so as they relate to the protests that were held on today. Hello?
I'm hearing you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
As they relate to the protests that were held on today, I'm having to be one of the key organizers of that protest that were held on today.
So what was the protest all about today?
Yeah, so the protest is about telling the president to remove the director of the National Commission on Disability, sending he's serving as the director for that commission. There are things that he's doing that we are seeing, and they are not impactful to us. So many of them, but our primary concern has to do with what have happened within recent time. In the month of August, they received $200,000 from the government, U.S. to empower visually impaired or disabled people in general. But then when we received the money, we decided choosing get 100 person, and 100 person were giving, $250 US. So out of that, of the 250, out of the 200,000, sending only use 25,000, and then he now telling us that the whole population of the disabled community should wait for next year to empower another 100 person. So we are saying no. The 200,000 was meant to empower people. So if you do your calculation, 25,000 can empower 100 person, it means the 200,000 can empower 800 human beings. But he's saying no. He wants to do 100 every year. So our question to him then, where is the 175,000 going? He doesn't want to get any account to that. So that protected our action. So
did you call the head for a sitting to question him?
Something call. We finally call at the commission, giving us information about this purpose of the money, is how it was going to be used. So he gave us 1,000 funds to build him. That when you return your fund, he gives the money. But on the contrary, he decided just choosing 100%, they're giving them 250. So Bano left with Cindy will be 175,000. He's telling us that he bought car, and the project did not say that car should be bought. Isn't it? So when we engaging in the month of October, in the presence of the press, he said we should go and protest. When we go protest, we will provide food. So we have was told him saying he doesn't want to give any concrete information as it relates to the 175,000. Then we'll continue protesting until he can be removed. So the first protest was staged on October 22nd. The third one was staged on October 3rd, and the third one was on October 30th. So this having to be a full until we can get results. Will not rest until Sunday is removed from that commission.
Okay, thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so 077764986, 077764986. For our WhatsApp line is +231 777649986. You can call us and make your contribution tonight. Let's see if we can pick up this call. Hello, caller. I'm okay. Your name and where do you call from?
I'm Spring City.
Calling from where?
Bonaspa.
Okay, make your contribution.
I was in town today. I saw what all went on between the Capitol building and the Hampton Marshall. I even left the people in the street and they were fast testing. Then they were really scared for it. Can you imagine people throwing in the middle of the road, laying down, doing all kinds of things on the road, getting there for the police to come and kill it. And the government, instead of the president, he took the buses that he borrowed. And
how sure are you that the president borrowed buses?
I think
Echo Bank.
Yeah, Echo Bank. According to himself. That's credit, and then the bank was able to pay for the credit, and then he was bought the credit by himself to the control. So now he took the process of lawsuit to it. Instead of paying attention to the people, he went there to do who I. So it was completely reduced to the control because they didn't pay attention to anything. Somebody can see the case, and it's cutting being in the middle of the road while people supposed to pass. We that can even see or to even get both to get food is difficult. Then people are looking about why you think this food and money that in the budget. They are this looking at that you're not able your bill of camp and your government should then help the people. And then will be fun. And see them tutor and give them skill, like tailoring and other small skill making a thing. But the country might just offer that they are there for our income.
Okay, thank you all so much. Let's see who can pick up this next caller who is on. Hello, caller. Wow, we lost that caller. So 07776499986, We have roughly about 7 minutes to go. 077764986. Let's see who is on the line there. Hello, caller.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm okay. Your name and where do you call from?
I'm Timba. I'm calling from Soul Clinic.
Okay, make your point.
Yeah, thank you very, very much for the show. My point here is that
Yeah, so just be on the line a little bit. Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to inform the president and let him try to look into it, let him immediately get into the process of the disabled. Because you know, God is not stupid. God didn't make mistakes to make some poor cripple and make some poor world state. You see, all of y'all cripple and government try to help and give some money there for all of you to survive on it. Then one person is taking it. So I'm calling upon the president, even the president or whosoever that get the money to the cripple department, let him go there. Let them go
That's
there.
person living with disabilities, sir.
Let them try to go there and try to invest again. Because government sorrow for their department and get their money and all of them there now. One man is eating the money and competition is coming so that they can destroy the country for people stretching, people protesting, this and that. So I'm only calling the vice president or whosoever involved so that they can go there and see to it that our money is properly used for the extended battle.
Okay, thank you also. May I take this international caller? Hello, caller.
Hey, hello, how you doing?
I'm okay. Your name and where do you call from?
Oh, this is Gabriel Jaden calling from Ohio.
Ohio. Okay, make your point.
Yeah, you see, look, sometimes you can fool the people, but not all the time. President Boakai had the experience, all the experience he has about governance. What President Boakai is doing now, he's thinking that the poor are stupid. The president is using the country money to enrich himself. As I speak to you now, go on President Boakai farm. See all the tractors. He get cows, thousands of cows. He get a lot of stuff on his farm. Boakai building houses in Foya. Where are you taking all that money from? They're talking about corruption. The president is extremely corrupt. The government is corrupt. The people are suffering. The ordinary people are not getting food to eat. You want the people to celebrate bosses? That the bosses will put food on the table? Boakai is extremely corrupt. Boakai want to sell our resources before he died, all our resources. And the citizens are suffering. Only Boakai and his family enjoying the country. It's very ridiculous. Boakai need to be careful. The thing that brought war in our country is that development, the marginalization. Boakai have to be extremely careful. The old man is extremely corrupt. Taking the country money, buying things. Go on Boakai farm right now. Watch the video. See all the tractors. A farm has everything. Where he took the money from so clean. Where he took the money from? Ordinary citizens can't find food to eat. The people standing on the street, the police beating them every day. But Boakai, if he started carrying the bus on the street, putting a head outside, they should have thrown a head. They should have thrown him today.
No. We can't. Yeah, let it. Yeah, Mayor.
Wear abroad, having a good life, and the ordinary citizens are suffering. You think that the people that don't realize, they don't know. You think the people don't see? You think the people don't feel? The people can feel. When they're hungry, they know that they're hungry. Boakai not hungry again, he's not begging again no more. Boakai enjoying the best of life. So you have to be very careful. He has to be very careful. Labrador belongs to Boakai or Lofa County alone. The whole country, 75% of the employment is from Lofa County. 75%. The old man that using the country money for himself is very terrible, very ridiculous. Boakai have to be very careful. He's very greedy. He wants everything for himself. It's very terrible. But when he's not careful, he will get a repercussion. Thank you.
Okay, welcome. Let's see how we can pick up this local call. Hello, caller. Yeah, hello, your name and where do you call from?
Yeah, thank you very much. For the hard to get on the line. And I'm very I do call from Omega Blahi.
Okay, be straight to the point. Others are on the line.
Yeah, I want to, let me tell you something. Those guys, those guys, I'm a justice driver who was started all today. He had our feelings on all, we did not get our report money today. These things are not necessary for the country. You don't go to the mountain and display the kind of way they put display today. Then can you remember that people later ain't going to go there? air. He said, we are stubborn. I believe that we are very, very stubborn. We talk for government through a system. And how you talk for government? Nobody very blah. Unfortunately, it happened to you. So when you ask the government for your aid, it should be too sound. Why you go black family today, we put 1 year from Blossy to camp, it's finished. Black between that year finished. Then say what I'm saying here. People who oversee America for this, that thing, they talking, why is that all talk here? I am a story here. I say thank you.
Okay, welcome. 077649986. Let's pick up this next caller. Hello, caller.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, please be straight to the point. Your name and where do you call for, and go straight to the issue.
I'm thinking again. And what I want to say here is that people should not sit in America to start rubbish. When you president, you don't get home.
Please do not attack personality. No. We cannot.
You gotta call him out.
No. We cannot continue with that. Hello, caller.
Hello, Chief.
Yeah, your name and where do you call from? Okay, make your point quick. We have others who are on the line.
Yeah, so you see the kind of statement being made by people when it comes on the situation, right? Look, well, no one pays for condition. They carry rally today, off of pay, you may accident at any time, off of pay. I'm not saying you want to right? But anyone, disability is irrespective of no one can be president, can be vice president, any individual can be. So if somebody else are of city, are we not a citizen of the country to protest for something that should be a beneficial to us and we are not getting it? So here's the point, Chief. They let CMD get 50,000 each to 20 persons within Mazzarado County. He said he was dealing with 5 counties. Within the rest of the 4 counties, you are getting the same 250. But guess what? I can give you a local, I can call from local county. You want local county and get people 30,000. Currently, I don't know which one of the station it is, but I get a phone that I gave up to filling. I say,
this is True FM. True FM.
I still have some of the forms that FMD gave up for the money that will fill in and return you are going to get the money. I'll try my best on the phone and look on the phone to see the kind of material, what the kind of material that FMD talks about that we now met with, the reason for which he now give us the money. How complicated are those people who no problem, that gives money? And the problem for which you saw and we are not facing. We facing the same problem. So what must you do? There was a person for which if you do a calculation of the 200,000 we are empowered, the 800 person there's somebody who can say, oh government I may you plan. Government I may you plan. But for the fact that we are citizens of the country, we should be benefiting from the resources. So if they say I sat downward and talking about all this that, but you ride car, you got your people. So if you come radio, you know how to talk to people. If you're free, you are able today. Remember all tomorrow that it can be disabled at any time. So that's the best thing when we were starting, we go carry your copy. And we saying this, it says that there was not end now until a solution can be prescribed or else we still come there. So that people be completely tell you.
Okay, welcome. Let's welcome pick up then let's call it. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Yeah, Nima, where do you call from? King, okay, make your point.
I want to thank the government for the buses. I heard some people calling and saying that bus will go for 1 hour table. Nigeria is just going very bad. Those who expect to be very educated, who will speak well, sometimes speak the wrong way. I mean, it's just unfortunate for our society. Then with the issue of the people who like to speak today, it's very inconvenient because people, today I was driving, I couldn't park in front of the capital building, no way. I turned on to Jalaway, I could not Jalatan way, I could not go. To come to Pinze, I had to park all the way across the bridge, park through Kadaki way. So honestly, if I were the police director, Those who blocked the road, I will ask them to peacefully leave. They didn't do it. I will order the police to take them from them by force. You don't inconvenience other people for your convenience sake. So it was just bad today. It's unfortunate that they did what they had to do, but if I was the police director, as I said, I told you, I would have told them to move. They said, no, they will move them by force. You know, they stand to give some other people, especially when you have a demonstration that has not been authorized, that the police are not, don't know about that they need to guide you. They were wrong. So we can go and leave everything with politicize. Everything with politicize. Those who are going the bosses today. So when the bosses are flying the streets of Oregon or anywhere for cheap prices when they don't ride it, they will. But you know, they like, there are too many morons in this country. That's why the kind of thing that go on. Thank you.
Okay, welcome. So,
All right, Mario.
yeah.
I gotta wrap it up.
Okay, so you can just wrap it up, then we close off for
Yeah,
today.
I mean, listening to the callers, we don't condone violence. So we cannot encourage folks to stone the president or attack the president. I mean, there are many ways we can express grievances. There's many ways we can tell the president we're not happy with his leadership. And like I stated earlier, the best way to do so is to vote him out. If you're not happy with the leadership of the president or your elected leaders, you elected them. The power is inherent in the people. You elected them. You have the power to vote them out. So again, we have to control our emotions, and we have to make the decisions when given the opportunity to make those decisions. They are very important, and Liberians have to understand. Look, I empathize with the anger, right? One of the callers talk about how the country is going down, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because this government came to power to rescue the people. Meaning they came to power to address all of the major issues that CDC did not do right when it came to governance, the economy, security, the rule of law, the effectiveness of government. I mean, yes, they passed the MCC, and congrats to them. We're happy that they passed the MCC. But when you look at key areas, key elements of governance, and how these policy decisions and the budget, how it affects the lives of the people, they didn't do well. Government is not effective. The rule of law is completely, they fail massively. I was thinking less than 34 points or percent on the rule of law. Healthcare, access to healthcare for children, badly. So the government have got to address these issues. There's no reason why they should shut certain parts of the city down because they want to parade the bus. Listen, you got buses, fine, good luck, thank you. Let those folks get to work. Make the lives of the people better. What is important is the bread and butter issue. If Liberians cannot afford to feed themselves, cannot afford to feed their children, cannot afford to send them to school, if they cannot afford to go out there in a competitive private sector and get jobs, if students are graduating college and there's no sense of reward, listen, I don't care what you bring to life. You can build the biggest of bridges. It still won't cut it. You've got to feed people. You feed people, you make them happy. They got some small money in the bank. They're able to go out and get a drink, and their kids are in school. They don't have to worry about being put out. You create an environment where you don't have to worry about security. That's what they need to do. But we need to control our emotions. We can't attack the president. We can't throw stones at the president. We can't encourage these things. We can't attack leaders. The best way to attack your leaders, the best way to express these concerns are through the ballot box. You have the right to vote them in. You have the right to vote them out if they have not performed to your expectations. And that's what needs to happen come 2029. But we need to go beyond these sentimental actions. We need to go beyond the booing and the attacks. We need to take actions. You have the power to do that. It breaks my heart when people, or when politicians lie to our people And when they're given the opportunity to change their lives, they do the total opposite. So I get it. I get it. But we have to control ourselves because security and peace in our country is fragile. Liberia is the only country we have. So we've got to make sure we keep it peaceful. Why it is true that the peace and security fall squarely on the government, each of us as Liberian citizens have a role to play in sustaining that peace. And what we saw today in that video, what we saw happen today, does not help. It does not help at all. So may God bless Liberia. Again, I empathize with the callers. I empathize with folks. I heard the taxi driver talked about he couldn't take home report, what he should have taken home for his boss. A lot of these guys are hustling. If they got to make 2,500 Liberian dollars, they're hustling to make more of that so that they're able to take some things home for themselves. They're not getting paid. These are bread and butter issues that the government have to address. If the government fails to address these issues, these races will get worse, and we don't know what will happen. But we have to control our emotions. We have to control ourselves, and we have to understand we have the power to hire and fire those who lead us, and we need to use that power rightly. So it was a great show. Mine, get home safe, and let's do it again tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, thank you all so much,
All right.
Mr. Robert Gagwa Jr. He's one of our panelists here on the Closing Argument Show. So, guys, thanks for following, thanks for watching. If you've been listening to us via radio, Truth FM 96.1 and also Kia Radio. So 20 minutes up to the hour, 12 o'clock. So at this junction, this is how I would like to come to the end of tonight edition of the Closing Argument, Thursday edition, the 13th day of the 11th month 2025. So there have been a series of discussions talked about tonight. So this is how I come to the end of this broadcast. Invite others tomorrow and same time, same platform, same station for another first edition. So Mr. Gaiman, hopefully he will be on tomorrow. Thanks to Mr. Sylvester Pee-wee, Mr. J. Victor Nangwe, and the other folks there. So this year team, some are in Liberia having some good time. What's up to some of them there? Chief Sintomoni George, Dr. Henry Peabody, Mr. Sylvester Pee-wee. Thanks once again for following. Let's go for this and close up on this edition. Let's go.
But listen to, did you hear the press conference of Gregory Coleman, the IG? He did say that this is a highly political case, did he not? So you don't take the partisans' word for it, you take the IG's word for it.
We elect on 85 irresponsible men, what happened to the country. We elect on 85 irresponsible men to govern this country, not to be very irresponsible.
Please place your left hand on the Bible being held by your wife, and you will kindly raise your right hand, sir, and repeat after me. All standing, please. I, Joseph Newman Boyka Sr.,
No secret now that your friend and former boss will be a candidate in 2029. With all of that you experience, all of that you know, and everything that you see unfolding in the country now, will you support him? Will you be part of the process? Will you give him the support? Do you think he can be a better president?
So why you want to bring Poliva Bene in it now?
Oh, but Poliva you're Poliva man, before you go out, very active.
I plead the fifth again.
Okay. When 2029 come and pass, then you finally leave. Mission is completed. Now, what the rules of engagement? When the war ended, the guy said, the captain, the commander said, mission complete. Der Wune Alphes, all men on board.
So, this riot situation when it comes to countries, because many times you notice that.
If Charles Taylor is the problem, he will be out of here in the twinkle of an eye. And I say, let well-meaning Liberians come home. If we respect this constitution, a government formed in Accra is a violation of Article 1 of the Constitution. Let them come home. Let that government be formed in Monrovia.
On the broadcast administration, we want to give the government of Liberia an ultimatum of 72 hours to provide a living barrier of the chairman of the Student Unification Party, or else there will be a catastrophic pneumonia in the Republic of Liberia. To arrest the chairman of the Student Unification Party, only because the government feel intimidated about the Vanguard Party advocacies.
The government got capital Rosemont, that road, B road, all kinds of place. I think the reason Joseph Baka will not do much because the old man, the papa is suffering. The papa loves the country, but he can't make it. The criminal there around him, they sophisticated than him. They are sophisticated criminals, so they can't make it.